Welcome to OOTO TV, the out-of-the-office investigation from the past into the future of health. This time we're discussing your gut, the second brain. Hello everyone, I'm Bob, and I'm really genuinely excited to explore some pretty profound insights with you today.
And I'm Sue. Yeah, it's fantastic to be here as we get into this essential journey, looking at how our internal world, well, it profoundly shapes just about everything in our lives, doesn't it? Our moods, our big decisions.
It really does. And today, Sue, we're looking into a topic that's, it's completely changing how we understand well-being. It's this incredible connection between our gut and our brain.
That's right, the second brain.
Exactly, the second brain, and, for very good reason. We'll be exploring the really intricate neural networks right there in our digestive tract and their whole ecosystem of gut microbes.
A bustling city down there.
Totally. And how this duo impacts, everything, mood, memory, even the development of serious neurodegenerative diseases.
Yeah. And it's not just theory, is it, Bob? We'll also touch on practical things, actionable steps you listening can actually think about for nurturing this vital internal communication.
Absolutely. Because what would become so clear, Sue, is how intimately your gut state, your gut, the second brain, will direct your decisions and action. It's not just a saying anymore.
No, it's biology. And that makes... Managing your gut health is critical to survival. It sounds dramatic, but the evidence really points that way.
It does, and that understanding gives us power, doesn't it? Because targeting your gut biome health will result in significant impact on mental and physical health. It's not just a small tweak.
Not at all. And Bob, targeting your gut biome health exponentially leverages improved mental and physical health. The potential is just enormous when you get it right.
Right, and maybe the best part is targeting your gut health specifically for our needs can build healthy routines and habits you can actively participate.
Yeah, but let's be clear, Bob. It's not like magic, is it? Targeting your gut health requires you to have a basic health routine, a diet plan, a daily routine and process to provide the desired result for mental and physical health. It takes consistent effort.
A real commitment. So, Sue, let's start with the basics. This second brain.
Yeah.
What exactly is it? Why does it get such a, remarkable name?
Well, Bob, It's truly an incredible network. We're talking about the enteric nervous system, the ENS.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's this huge web, like 100 to 500 million neurons, just lining your entire digestive tract, esophagus right down to the rectum.
500 million. That puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's more nerve cells than you find in your spinal cord.
Or the peripheral nervous system. It's practically, like you said, a brain sitting right there in your gut.
And it operates with this amazing autonomy.
That's what's so astonishing, Bob. This ENS, it can function somewhat independently from, the main brain, the central nervous system. It's coordinating digestion, moving food along. Often we don't even consciously realize it's happening.
Like this sophisticated manager inside making constant adjustments.
Exactly. And, Bob, this idea, it's not entirely brand new, though our understanding now is just wow.
Right. Didn't people talk about this way back?
Yeah, as far back as the 1880s, William James, Carl Lange, they introduced this idea of bidirectional communication, CNS and the gut talking maybe playing a role in emotions.
Interesting.
And then in the 1920s, Walter Cannon, he explored the brain's role in regulating the gut more. So the seeds were there, but the complexity we see now, it's a whole different level.
And that complexity, that brings us to this MGB axis, right? The microbiota-gut-brain axis.
Yes. Think of it as a superhighway, Bob. Constant two-way traffic. It uses everything, immune signals, hormones, neural connections.
Not just one thing, it's this whole network communicating.
A constant, complex exchange, shaping us from the inside, really.
And it's amazing how much the gut influences the brain directly. The vagus nerve, for instance.
The vagus nerve, crucial.
It's the main highway, isn't it? That direct connection, carrying messages, and not just brain-gut. It affects the heart, lungs, too.
It's central, a direct line from your digestion to, your feelings, your thoughts. It impacts everything you experience.
And then there are all the chemical signals, Sue.
Oh, yeah, the chemical symphony. The gut microbiome, those trillions of microbes, they start influencing brain development basically from birth.
Wow, from birth.
Mm-hmm. They release this whole cocktail of stuff. Neurotransmitters, like serotonin, dopamine, cytokines, those inflammatory messengers, neuropeptides, and then unique things only microbes make, like short-chain fatty acids.
Short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs. Hear a lot about those.
You do, and all these signals, they travel through the bloodstream, through special cells, along nerves, right to the brain, affecting metabolism, affecting everything.
So it's not just about digestion at all. The microbiome is directly messing with, well, not messing with, but influencing complex brain function.
Exactly. Areas like the hippocampus, that's memory central, the prefrontal cortex for decision-making.
The amygdala for emotions.
Right. It underpins so much of who we are. It just hammers home that idea, Bob. Your gut, the second brain, will direct your decisions and action. It's fundamental.
Okay, so let's maybe shine a light on some of the unsung heroes here. The gut microbiota themselves and these enteric glia cells. They have an amazing influence, don't they?
They really, really do, Bob. Our gut microbiota, it's like this tiny internal chemical factory, constantly working.
Producing what kind of things?
Well, vital neuroactive compounds. For example, you've got bacteria like Escherichia, Bacillus, Lactococcus. They're known to produce dopamine.
The motivation molecule.
Right. Then lactobacillus and bacillus make acetylcholine that's linked to learning, memory. And others make histamine, which helps regulate sleep, cognitive function. It's this incredible internal orchestra of chemical messages.
And you mentioned the SCFAs, the short-chain fatty acids.
Yeah.
They're pretty significant.
Hugely significant, Bob. They're involved in neuroplasticity, how our brain adapts and changes, even epigenetics, how genes get turned on or off.
Wow.
Yeah. And all of that directly affects the functional state of our central nervous system.
It's such a hot area of research right now, so
Yeah.
learning more all the time.
You're listening to OOTO TV with research by author Paul Bulow. And Bob, just to understand how critical these microbes actually are, think about those studies with germ-free animals.
Ah, the ones raised in sterile bubbles.
Exactly. They have all sorts of issues, don't they? Abnormal gut movement, messed up immune systems, metabolic problems. It just powerfully shows that our microbiota isn't just, hanging out. It's fundamental to how we develop and function.
Without them, the system just doesn't work right.
Precisely.
Okay, and the other unsung heroes, the enteric glia cells. You said they were overlooked for a long time.
For over a century, Bob. Kind of overshadowed by the neurons. But now, with better tools, we're seeing they do, well, almost everything.
Really? Like what?
One scientist put it perfectly. They're sitting at the interface of a lot of different tissue types and biological processes. They're the ultimate coordinators.
Coordinators. How?
Okay, so they're often the first responders if there's injury or inflammation in the gut. They help maintain that crucial gut barrier, keeping bad stuff out.
Okay, important.
They mediate the contractions, the peristalsis, moving food along. They regulate stem cells for repairing tissue. And they're constantly chatting, that's the word researchers use, with the microbiome, with neurons, with immune cells, pulling it all together.
They sound like the ultimate multitaskers down there.
They really are. And new research keeps finding more, Bob. They found like 6 different types of glial cells now.
6 types? Wow.
Yeah, including these fascinating ones called hub cells. They have this special channel, piezo-2, that senses physical force.
Senses. Like movement.
Exactly, the stretch from food moving through. And that allows them to basically tell other gut cells, okay, contract now. They're vital for motility all the way through, like conductors keeping a rhythm.
Incredible. But Sue, is it always positive? You mentioned a 90-10 split earlier. Is there a downside to these glias?
Good point, Bob. It's complex, right? So while they're usually beneficial, these glias aren't always perfect heroes. They can contribute to gut pain by releasing molecules that make nearby neurons more sensitive. Now, it's thought that's actually adaptive, helps you react to harmful stuff, maybe. But a side effect is, well, pain.
Right, an unwanted side effect.
Yeah, and also if the glia themselves get stressed, maybe from genetic issues, a poor diet, weird metabolites from the microbiome, they can actually start damaging the neurons next to them.
Wow.
And they can call in immune cells, which leads to inflammation, more pain. So yeah, it's a delicate balance. Even the good guys can cause trouble if things get out of whack. Reminds us how crucial balance is.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's connect all this amazing science, Bob, to our mental well-being, our physical health, and even these really tough neurodegenerative diseases.
Yeah, the link to mental well-being is it's undeniable now, isn't it? Things like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. We know the microbiome is directly involved there.
Right, that link is pretty well established.
But it goes so much further. Anxiety, autism spectrum disorder, depression, even schizophrenia, there are strong links being drawn to the gut-brain axis for all of them.
Our gut health really does seem to profoundly impact our mental state.
It does. But here's where the hope comes in, Bob. Probiotics, for instance.
Good bacteria, basically.
Yeah, they've shown incredible potential. Studies are indicating that certain strains, especially things like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, they can help restore that microbial balance.
And that helps with?
Significantly alleviating symptoms of depression and anxiety in some studies. Some research even hints that using multiple strains together might be even more effective for mental health protection.
That's really empowering, isn't it? The idea you could potentially influence your mental state through these tiny organisms.
It really is. And then, Bob, the implications for neurodegenerative diseases, they're profound. Take Parkinson's.
Yeah, okay. What's the connection there?
Well, gut issues, constipation is a big one. Heartburn too often show up years, sometimes decades before the classic motor symptoms, the tremors and stiffness.
Decades before.
Yeah. And research also shows that damage to the upper digestive tract might increase the risk of developing Parkinson's later.
How could that work?
The thinking is these things called LPS, endotoxins, from certain gut bacteria, they might make the gut lining more permeable, leaky gut.
Hear that.
And that could lead to the misfolding of this protein, alpha-synuclein, which is a key player in Parkinson's pathology. It suggests the gut could be like the starting point, setting the stage for the disease.
A potential starting point.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And what about Alzheimer's?
A similarly compelling picture, Bob. Imbalances in the gut microbiota, that dysbiosis we mentioned, especially pro-inflammatory types, that seems to trigger significant inflammation in the brain.
Neuroinflammation. Right.
Exactly. And it's linked to the buildup of those amyloid beta plaques, the sticky clumps found in Alzheimer's brains. Get this. Even common bacteria like E. coli can produce functional amyloid fibers themselves.
Bacteria making amyloid.
Yeah, that can actually encourage the A-beta plaques to form in the brain. It directly implicates the gut in how Alzheimer's might develop or progress, a really stark reminder about our internal ecosystem and long-term brain health. You're listening to OOTO TV with research by author Paul Bulow.
Now, so you mentioned a potential counterpoint earlier, that 10% contrary view. Is there research suggesting this connection isn't always beneficial?
Yes, exactly, Bob. It's important to show the whole picture. While we're championing this connection, there was a recent study. It found that when the stomach and brain are, quote, synced too strongly.
Sync too strongly, what does that mean?
Well, it seemed to correlate with worse mental health. It linked higher levels of anxiety, depression, and stress to this, like, overactive gut-brain communication.
Interesting. So too much communication might be bad.
Potentially. Now, it's crucial to remember this was an association, right? Not necessarily direct cause and effect. But it raises this fascinating question about, what's optimal communication versus maybe an overly intense, perhaps stress-driven connection. It highlights the complexity.
That's a really important nuance, Sue. It shows it's not just simple good or bad. It's about balance.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the power of our daily choices, doesn't it? Diet is just huge here.
A powerhouse, yeah. What kind of diet helps most?
Generally, a plant-rich, whole food approach. Lots of variety, different fruits, vegetables, whole grains. That gives you the fiber, both soluble and insoluble.
Fuel for the good microbes.
Precisely. Prebiotics. Plus, you get probiotics from some foods, anti-inflammatory compounds. It all works together to nourish the good microbiota, maintain that gut lining, reduce inflammation, creating that balanced gut-brain axis.
So thinking colorful plates, lots of fiber, maybe fermented foods too, like yogurt, kimchi.
Absolutely. Those are great natural sources of probiotics. It's a really proactive step you can take for your whole system.
And what about things like antibiotics? Obviously essential sometimes, but...
Yeah, life-saving, no question. But we have to be aware of the impact, Bob. They can really knock the gut microbiota for six, can't they? Significantly affect the composition, the diversity, sometimes with long-term changes.
So supporting gut health after antibiotics is probably key.
Definitely. Helping that ecosystem recover and find its balance again.
And even simple lifestyle things seem connected now. Caffeine, sleep.
Yeah, it's all intertwined. There's research in mice suggesting caffeine might help prevent depression-like symptoms, possibly by protecting that gut-brain link and gut health.
Interesting.
And conversely, we know poor sleep negatively affects the gut microbiome, and that in turn can impact your stress levels, your long-term health. It really underscores that point, Bob. Managing your gut health is critical to survival. It touches everything.
Wow. What an incredible journey we've taken, Sue. Really covering the landscape of our internal world.
We really have, Bob, from the marvel of the enteric nervous system, that second brain, to the microbes, the glia cells, the vagus nerve. It's intricate.
Absolutely breathtaking. And the main takeaways seem pretty clear, don't they? Our gut, your gut, it's so much more than just digestion. It's like a command post for mood, memory,
Yeah.
even vulnerability to these major diseases.
Yeah, which really highlights again how your gut, the second brain, will direct your decisions and action. It's not a fringe idea anymore, it's core biology.
And the microbiota, that inner ecosystem, it's not just influential, it's absolutely vital for brain health.
And we saw how inflammation, often starting in the gut, can have these profoundly negative effects upstream in the brain, affecting cognition, emotions. It's such a powerful connection, Bob. It really demands our attention.
Which again makes managing your gut health is critical to survival.
Exactly. But the good news, Bob, is the hope and the agency we have in this knowledge.
Right. Probiotics, prebiotics, that thoughtful whole food, plant-rich diet. These offer powerful, real strategies, things you can actually do.
To support that gut-brain connection, build resilience, find balance. And that's why targeting your gut biome health will result in significant impact on mental and physical health.
And not just linear impact, right? You said it exponentially leverages improved mental and physical health. That's a huge potential return.
It really is. It's about being proactive for your future self.
So remember, everyone, targeting your gut health, specifically for our needs, can build healthy routines and habits. It's empowering.
But, as we stressed earlier, Mob, it requires dedication, doesn't it? Targeting your gut health requires you to have a basic health routine, a diet plan, a daily routine and process to provide the desired result for mental and physical health. It's that holistic commitment.
A commitment to yourself, really. So, Sue, as we wrap up this investigation, what's a final thought you'd leave listeners with?
Well, Bob, considering just how intimately your gut is communicating with your brain every single day, maybe ask yourself, what one small, consistent change could you make in your daily routines starting today to support your gut health? Knowing that small change might profoundly shape your future mental clarity and your emotional resilience down the line.
That's a fantastic thought to ponder, Sue. Thank you for joining us on OTO TV. We really hope this exploration has given all of you listening some new perspectives, maybe some tools for your own health journey.
Until next time, stay curious.
And keep exploring.